What's going on, everybody? WILDMAN here, and I'm in an indoor gym for a change. I'm going to be doing the back squat in giant strength training format. So the idea is just I'm going to place that bar on the back, and I'm going to try to really work mostly on the technique portion of today. So it's going to be a very lighter weight than I typically do, because I'm really going to try to focus on only the technique portion, because I'm going to be trying 3 things new, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, as I'm going up in weight on the back squat, I'm also going to be doing some mountain climbers because it's good for the abs. It also works my ankle mobility so I can get to depth on the squat. And the assault bike, which I'm going to be doing 1 mile total by the time I'm done. I'm not going to keep showing the assault bike as I'm going up in weight. Just know I'm doing it as part of the giant strength training program as I'm going up in weight on the back squat. That's a strength giant set for the day. So my top set's going to be a whole lot lighter than I normally do on the back squat. And that's for 2 reasons. Number 1 is I'm doing my 500 road to 500 for the deadlift. And that actually plays tug of war with my central nervous system. So if my back squat goes up, usually my deadlift starts to suffer. So I felt like it was kind of a good idea to kind of back off on the back squat for now and really focus on the deadlift because I'm super close to my goal. Another reason I'm switching over to a lighter weight is because I'm going to be working on my technique a whole lot more, which is going to be 3 things that I'm doing different. So the first thing that I'm going to do is when I take it out of the rack, and I'm going to begin my descent, I'm actually going to squeeze my glutes together very hard. So that's going to be step number 1 that I'm going to be practicing on today. The second thing I'm going to do is after I get my brace, I'm going to actually begin the descent with my glutes tight, and then my knees are going to actually lead into the descent. And the last thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to wrap that bar around my shoulders really tight, like as if I'm trying to bend it, which I'm not going to be able to because the barbell is a whole lot stronger than me. But I'm trying these 3 things because I saw a weightlifter on YouTube that I highly respect give these 3 tips, and he squats a lot of weight. So I want to be able to kind of mimic that and see if that works for me. And what I'm finding is it's actually keeping me a whole lot upright. You could just tell right here on this set, this is how I used to set up my back squat, where I was looking more down on the ground, and then I would actually get pretty deep, but the bar would feel a whole lot heavier on me. And my old technique, which is this one right here, where I lift my head up and trying to apply the new principles, it actually feels a whole lot stronger, and I'm able to still get down to depth. So that's the most important thing that I'm trying to do right now, and I kind of compared the 2 right now, and I can definitely see that adding those 3 things to the mix made me a whole lot stronger. So this is something that I might need to get used to, because on the deadlift, I had to completely start over on my technique when I switched to straps. So now I'm going to completely start over again on the back squat, and I'm really going to try to master these 3 things so that I'm able to hopefully get a better back squat and go up in weight, but also that nothing will hurt and that it'll actually complement the deadlift rather than play tug of war with the deadlift. So this ended up being my top set for the strength portion, which should be my technique portion, because that's actually what I was doing. I was practicing technique. But because I'm a meathead and because I like to lift heavy things, I decided I was going to go for a 1 rep max on the variation giant set, which is going to be the front squat, where the bar sits on your front rack. This is a whole lot harder to do because it sits on that carotid artery, so it definitely feels a whole lot harder than a back squat. But it really hammers your quads and your core a whole lot more since that bar is sitting out in front of you. It also helps with the overhead pressing because that's where the front rack is when you place the bar or some type of strongman implement on your front rack. So this really helps with the overhead press as well. And as I was going up in weight, I kept it in the same format as the strength giant set by doing those mountain climbers, which also help with the front squat because it gets your ankle mobility, and the assault bike, which again, by the time I was done, I did 1 mile of a total assault bike. Now, this is going to be my top set on the front squat, which is 315 pounds, 3 plates on each side. This is something that I'd like to do at least once a year, and it's been a year since I've hit this. And it actually got pretty sticky into the middle there, but I was able to do it. And it accomplished what I wanted, which is to have something heavy. So I was proud of my session by the time I was done. Then I just moved on to the accessory giant set. So I was doing really heavy leg extensions on the machine. The machine was kind of broken, so I kind of had to finagle it a little bit. And then I immediately go over and do some bicep curls. Very, very light again, because I'm not trying to blow anything out. And then off camera, I was doing hitchhikers, which I didn't capture because the gym was getting busy. And that was the total workout for the day. I really appreciate everybody stopping by, and I hope you learned something new. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.